Yo, what's going on, guys? It is your boy, Thababybeastsz, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. Today, we have another Raid of the Night video. We are going to be going over the Prophecy weapons. This week should be the week of Prophecy, which comes with 4 revamped Prophecy weapons. And of course, we have to start off with the origin trait crossing over. The top half of the magazine comes with increased ranged and handling, and then the bottom half of the magazine comes with increased damage. All 4 of these weapons have this origin trait on top of gravity wells, which is when you reload next to ammo, it gathers nearby ammo. So most of these weapons should be good with either or, because they're most of these are primary weapons, right? We only have one special weapon, no heavies. So most of these, like both of them, are going to be good. Crossing over is more of like a PvP perk, and then Gravity Wells is more of a PvE perk, right? But our first weapon is Prosecutor. I am excited for all these weapons, so please excuse my rants. Well, not my rants, but my over explanation. But I am very excited for all of these weapons. Prosecutor is a 450 auto rifle that could come with a lot of great things. The role that I'm personally going to be looking for is going to be Zen Moment and Paracausal Affinity. So when you get a kill with a light base damage on when you have this weapon out, it gives it a damage increase. The damage increase is of 20%, and 20% is enough to get a 6 headshot kill, which brings the time to kill down to brings the time to kill down to 0.67 seconds. Now, we also have Onslaught, which I haven't found a good 450 with Onslaught, or I haven't been able to farm one with Onslaught. But when you get a stack of Onslaught, it also drops the time to kill to 0.67 seconds. However, the difference between these two is that one is a 6 headshot, one is a 7 headshot. But both of these are really good traits, right? And you can switch out Zen Moment for Keep Away if you want for the extra range. It's a lot of range and a lot of reload speed. But me personally, I think I'm going to need Zen Moment for Crucible, right? And for PvE, you can have Dragonfly and a Rolling Storm, or if you don't want Rolling Storm, you can have Dragonfly with a Vault Shot. I think Rolling Storm will probably partner up well with Eddy Current, but I don't use Eddy Current that much. But Dragonfly and Vault Shot is going to be a nasty roll. I cannot wait to use this in PvE. I spec this thing out with mostly recoil direction with arrowhead break, and then like range and stability, kind of a mixture of both. My adept mod of choice was a stability mod, but I do want a range masterwork. You can either spec out for range if you're on mouse and keyboard to get more of that range, but I think having it split even is going to be the best option for this weapon. The next one is going to be the weapon I'm not as hyped for, but it has a lot of potential, which is Relentless. Relentless is a high impact frame pulse rifle that can come with a couple of different interesting things. Keep in mind, this is a strand, high impact, so if you don't have a good high impact in your primary slot, then this could possibly work out for you. We can start off with the classic rapid hit Desperado. I haven't seen a good 340 with Desperado in a while. I believe the last one we had was LC's rifle, so that could work. If you never experienced Desperado on a high impact, that could work. We do have a couple of things for PvP, like Paracausal Affinity is also on this weapon. Strand, so if you get a strand kill, Paracausal Affinity, or you can kill with the weapon, Paracausal Affinity starts. It drops the time to kill down to a 0.6, which isn't really noticeable since these are already at a 0.67, and they're very hard to hit. That's why I believe rapid hit should probably stay on the weapon. If you don't want rapid hit, you go Keep Away, right? But in PvE, I do see a special role that I want, and that is Firefly with Elemental Honing. Now, Firefly guaranteed does solar explosions. Doesn't matter what type of weapon you're using, it does solar explosions. This weapon is strand, so Elemental Honing will get up to ×2, which gives me a 10% damage buff. I think that's pretty cool. But if you don't want to be wacky like me, you could go for Tear and Hatchling. Tear, when you get a precision final blow, everyone around that target becomes severed, and then Hatchling, when you get a precision final blow, it drops hatchlings on the floor. So This gun is really cool. I think I'm going to be probably going for that tear hatchling role, and then I'm going to get a firefly onto honing role just for fun, so I can say I have it. But besides that, I don't think I'm going to be farming this for PvP, because I did use high impacts, but they're not my thing anymore. But let's go to our next weapon, which is the sudden death. Now, the sudden death is a very interesting shotgun. It does have some really good PvP stats, but the main thing I really want to talk about is 1-2 punch and trench barrel. This shotgun is probably going to be really good for your 1-2 punch titan / hunter build. So it comes with 1-2 punch, of course, and trench barrel. The 1-2 punch, after you hit a shot with every pellet, when you hit a shot with every pellet lands, your melee gets increased damage. However, when you melee, your shot does an extra 50% damage, right? So this shotgun is going to do a lot of damage with 1-2 punch. We also have crazy things like repulsor brace and destabilizing rounds. That's also going to be really good. But if you don't want to go for repulsor brace destabilizing rounds, you can go for discord destabilizing rounds. And if you don't know what discord does, when you get a kill with another weapon and you swap to this one, each shot that you use after you get a kill gets refunded. So you get the kill, it props destabilizing rounds, you get your ammo back, and then you keep going on a tear with that weapon. For PvP though, we could go for things like slide shot and opening shot, which gives it almost max range. But this is an aggressive frame shotgun. I know I'm not going to be using it. It doesn't have good handling, but if you want good handling, you could go for probably threat detector so you can max out that handling. I don't really like aggressive shotguns in Crucible. I've been loving the slug shotguns for a very long time right now, so I think I'm going to stick with my slug shotguns. You could also go for closing time and slide shot if you want a little bit more handling, but threat detector is going to be your best bet for all that handling. And for our last weapon, we are going to go to Judgment. Now, Judgment is a little bit interesting because it is the first in a long time, since like very long time. It's the one of the first weapons that you can actually switch the sights on. Now, do they actually switch in game? If I remember correctly, they don't. But it's been a very long time that you can actually switch the sights. And I don't believe, let me check, I actually never checked. Yeah, none of these sights increases or decreases the range, so that's alright. But I would like to say you should probably max out the range for this hand cannon. Hit marker HCS gives you more range without decreasing anything. Most of these range buffs decreases the stability, but true sight and hit mark does not decrease the range. And you should go for accurized rounds for more range, and I personally am going to go for rapid hit and precision instrument. There's a couple of cool things in here, but as you know, precision instrument gives you more range. It doesn't really two taps anyone like a 120, but since it's a 140, it's just going to give you a lot more range. I don't think there's anything in here that will decrease the time to kill, but precision instrument is going to be really good. If you don't want rapid hit, you can always go for keep away, and that keep away could give you, I believe, almost max range. Yeah, it caps out at 89, so that's really good. Slide shot is also here if you like sliding around in Crucible with your hand cannon. I don't personally. If you want to do more flinch, you could also go for time payload. Time payload has never been my style of perk, but it is here. Now in PvE, you could go for headstone and rhyme stealer if you don't have that combination, or you could go for demolitionist and adrenaline junkie if you don't have that combination. But I think that's about all. Oh wait, hold on, I just saw you could go for headstone and paracausal affinity, and that could do some crazy work because you can shoot the crystal and the crystal gets the kill or reprocs paracausal affinity. So that's going to be a really cool combination as well. But that's going to be all I got for you guys today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I love you guys, and peace out.